The Open Forum Book Club, and when you hear about book club, you must give credit to the man called Dr. Udemanana. But here we do book club because we read a lot. We read a lot. We're going to get to him soon. But first, let me introduce you to the issues of the day. I remember, as much as we try, the issues may be quite huge. What it takes us to be on air, we maximize every second. Executive bills reviewed at the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly public hearings, and it is actually our 89th edition, 89th week of looking at stock taking and agenda setting. How can we make Akwa Ibom State to be self-sufficient? We started that, and you can bet it's a record that will remain, and we hope we'll see results. And then on the book club, like I told you, Open Forum Book Club, we're going to do a little reading. If not everything he wrote is here, he's going to talk about it. A review of the article, How to Underdevelop Akwa Ibom State.
How not to.
Pardon?
How not to.
How not to. I'm sorry, I get that. How not to. That's what I really have here. Thank you so very much. How Not to Underdevelop Akwa Ibom State by Ernest Udo Robert. You just heard his voice because he's a very meticulous person. He didn't want to leave any gap. Yeah. Those that have seen that promo show that we wrote there, How Not to Underdevelop Akwa Ibom State. We'll do the reading and he will just share his thoughts. And by the time I introduce him, you'll know that he is more than just somebody that is interested in what he's doing. He may likely have a take in virtually all the issues we're going to have on the table as time permits us. And then on the state of the state, today we have two issues. The July 2026 edition of the Akwa Ibom State Government Monthly Project Delivery, an analysis of Council / Presidential Economic Advisory Council scandal. A case of when an individual is required to sacrifice for the crimes of superior authorities. That's the question we are going to ask. Remember, we don't just talk because there's an issue on the table. We go deeper. We try to take lessons from there, because from either your life experience or my life experience, if we share it, certain persons will not fall prey. And thank God, I am one of those with so much experiences when it comes to something that is close to this, but in another way. So I'm going to share my thoughts, personal experience, and you also have your experience. We've got bad news for you. Open Forum is here not to attack, not to criticize, but because we are about people, issues, ideas, and solutions. Whatever issue we talk about, we bring the possible solution to it. And guess what? We almost in 80 to 90% of what we say, we send letters to authorities, and the trails are there. So we don't just talk. And for those who on their own feel that what is wrong with him, he's embarrassing because he's attacking government, we know about your works. Some of you have received our letters. You are unable to even come on air free. Come and let's say thoughts on something that concerns your ministry, your table, your wherever you are. You could not, but you have the heart to be seen, to see how you say, how can we silence NKO? It's impossible. And then the second is by Harold Singh. Very instructive. He says, it is the special gift of the oppressed groups to reveal universal truth. It is the special gift of the oppressed groups to reveal universal truth. If you are a victim of oppression, Master, carest thou not that we perish? That was a very strong word. In our Bible, how do you insult God? Carest thou not that we perish? Never allow anybody to oppress you. And there's something called Stockholm Syndrome, where people will praise their oppressors. It is a disease, and we are here with the, is it antidote they call it? We are here with the cure. We cure impunity the much that we can by the grace of God. That is how loaded today's program will be. And like I always say, every second counts. Last week, because the town hall meeting, we were privileged to have Save Your Pan Esquire, and we looked at a number of issues, particularly having to do with security, and just in a nutshell, the recruitment or proposed adoption of village youth presidents into the security architecture of the state by His Excellency. We reviewed it thoroughly, and Save Your Pan is the Executive Director of Compact Foundation for Justice and Peace Building, purely dedicated to community policing. It is Community Policing Partnership Foundation for Justice and Peace Building. He's an expert of about 30-something years of experience in the civil society space. And the resolution we arrived at is that His Excellency should suspend that process, because, like we have written to His Excellency, written to the National Rulers Council, written to the House of Assembly, some village heads, some of them have cases. Talk less of youth presidents, that certain persons are even using it maybe for political reasons, and some of them are leaving. There was no background check or due diligence before that policy was announced, and so it is a resolution here that His Excellency should suspend it and then do an audit of the state of the villages, state of the clans, state of the state, and then know what policy direction to take. Otherwise, we've seen some of them criminal records, or some of them you talk about cultism now being part of what some certain persons must have before you can fit into whatever. So we want it to succeed because they have been doing that job. It's actually the job of the village youth president and the executive, and some of them are about leaving. And worse off, we hear that politics was mentioned when they met. It is one of the worst things to happen to us as a people if political interest is brought into the issue of security and engaging the village youth presidents. Some of them, like I told about the case we are handling at Ikoropadin, it's something that we've written to the authorities, it's been published here and there, but let's not go into that. Let's not go to other things that we did last week, and we'll go straight to the discussion. I'm going to introduce our guest, and then, like I said, by the time I introduce him, you get to know if he just came to hear me read his article and didn't speak about it, or he will have things to say about other issues. Remember, you are on Memories 965 FM with you, and the program is Open Forum with Citizen MKO. The first thing I must do now is to say I have in the studio the production editor of Watchman Post newspapers, an activist, a dramatist. It's long I've not heard this. It's long I've not heard this. I'm an actor too. People may not know this. I'm a singer. It's long I've not sang. I write songs, I sing, I dance, I go for dancing competition. My white beard will allow me to do certain things now, except when I want to dance with my children and they will laugh. Now, to grace it all is a public affairs analyst, Ernest Udo Robert. You're welcome to Open Forum with Citizen MKO.
It's a pleasure to be here. It's wonderful being with you.
Thank you.
The first time I saw you was when you did Open Forum.
Town hall meeting.
Town hall meeting some time ago at the NUJ Press Center.
Yes.
I was fortunate to be there.
Exactly.
And I saw the panelists. My friend, Enquiry,
okay.
was a member
That's
of
right. That's right.
She called me up and asked her to be there.
And you were there.
I was there.
I remember. That's why I said we've been meeting, but we've never been this close.
No.
And your work has spoken for you. Here in Open Forum, we believe that whenever you find a star, either in the gutter, on the floor, in the garbage, a trash place, pick up the star and send it to the sky. Your article endeared you to me, and well, actually, I must say this. Last week, I was supposed to give us update on the young man, the orphan that we brought here to say we can raise funds for him to do his clearance, University of Uyo, and then pay for his house rent. He was supposed to be here today, but he's unable. Next week he's going to be here with us to give us to hear the update. But without mentioning names, after we do that, some of those things next week, by the grace of God, we've secured enough funds for him to do his clearance, and he has received his certificate from the University of Uyo as a graduate for the Department of Banking and Finance. So we want to thank everyone that supported. we are still in need of funds because his house rent is not paid yet, but he's going to be here with the certificate to say thank you. And then, by the grace of God, the honorable member representing him, Member Togobasi, we met in the House of Assembly about 2 weeks ago. He has promised to do his own part as he pledged. So please bear with us next week. We are like to have him here. It's because he could not make it and now had to bring in NS Udorebet that I had earlier scheduled for next week. So that's what is very ideal, because I'm very passionate about hearing him talk about this article that he wrote. But first, since we have a lot, time flies whenever you are on local forum, we want to just give us our thoughts on the Bajabia Mila, or what you call Chief of Staff, and the DMA, Director General of this and that, and the Presidential Council of Intervention Promotion Council, Presidential Economic Advisory Council scandal. And our position, our angle is this a case when an individual is required to sacrifice for the crimes of superior authorities? I'm not going to do readings. I do a lot of research, a lot of printouts. I have them, and I even have the speech by DME. And one of the things that he said when Femi Gbajabiamila, the Chief of Staff, made the press release, which was very the Chief of Staff wanted 47 or 46% of the takeoff grant, which ran to almost 20-something billion or thereabout. And then he said, no, it's too much. And then he paid for that position. And the linked person died under mysterious circumstances in a fire incident in a hotel, 5 days to when he himself was picked up. And one thing led to another. He became free, continued his business, and even addressed a press conference. Now the question is, National Assembly has 109 senators. House of Reps that reviewed the budget has 360 honorable members. Honorable, you know what that means. And then the presidency, through the chief of, through the SGF, through to the central bank governor, to the EFCC, where he went on courtesy call and he was honored, and through letter from the SGF that he was invited to be part of a federal government delegation to Canada, and other correspondences. Now this has happened. Ernest, my brother, what is your take on this? Do you think that a single individual could have deceived the entire country and the global community?
The presidency,
the
central bank,
the budget office, SGF,
and
security, police,
and security, playing them 419 and having a place. The guy cannot be intimidated.
No. Let's leave it there. I love that word. The guy cannot be intimidated. When you talk about somebody not being intimidated, you have your fact. Even when you don't have your fact, I want to give a scenario. A very highly placed person with a crown assured me, leave your summoned for a case with a